Welcome back to LearnZilla's Introductory AdWords course. In this lesson, we'll get familiar with some of the ad and keyword settings that you can use to improve your campaign's performance. If you haven't discovered it already, go ahead and click on your campaign and go to the Settings tab. This tab is here because AdWords is not very intuitive on its own. This tab is here to help us be as granular as possible and let us make sure that we only get the clicks that we want. Here, you can change the campaign name, your search type, and campaign types when we start creating more and more campaigns. Device settings on their own can be a very powerful tool. Let's say our product is a mobile app. Then we may only want to advertise to Googlers that are on their phone, right? We can actually do that if we go to the Device Settings tab here on top. We're going to accomplish our goal by decreasing what we call a bid adjustment on computers to negative 100%. This means that a $10 bid, as default for the keywords, will become a $0 bid to those using a computer. To increase or decrease a bid adjustment on devices, you just click on the bid adjustment column in any of the device rows and enter in a percentage desired. And then you select increase or decrease and hit save basically. Remember keywords? These bid adjustments are applied to a qualifying keyword when a search query is triggered. So when a keyword has a $0 bid, it'll never reach the auction. In another scenario, we notice that the clicks for mobile devices do a little bit better than computers and tablets. In this case, we can always add a bid adjustment of 20% to mobile, so our keyword bids for computers will always be less than those for mobile. This means that the bids for mobile devices will be eligible to go into the keyword auction more of the time. In other words, you'll get more clicks from mobile devices. To add a 20% bid adjustment, we would just select the bid adjustment field in the mobile row and enter in 20. Easy peasy. Device settings are very useful, and they're actually one of my favorite reports to look at when working with my clients. You can easily improve a campaign by messing around with some of these. Most of the time, we'll notice trends of one device or another doing better depending on the nature of the business or, in some cases, the quality of a client's website. For better performing devices, you can increase the bids, and for those not doing as well, you can always decrease or leave them as they are. I usually look at the data from the last 30 days or more and go with around a 10 or 20% bid adjustment for the devices that are doing better until I'm absolutely sure that one device brings in more conversions than another, and I'll increase that device more. Keep in mind that these trends may change from time to time, so be sure to check back into the devices report often. Sound good? Let's go back to our main settings tab. Locations we target can be important too. This tool helps us refine our targeting and to make sure that we don't get the clicks from areas that may find our product irrelevant. This is especially important to businesses like restaurants that focus on local markets. We wouldn't want to pay for clicks from Seattle if our restaurant is located in New York, right? Unless our restaurant is that good, then please do send me an invite. Alright, what we can do here is add several geographic targets. We'll hit Edit and Advanced Search. I love this geographic location interface. I think it's incredibly helpful. We can get as granular or as general as you like. We can go as far as adding the address of our business and set a target radius around it. Let's do just that. Hit the Radius Targeting tab here on top. Enter in our address, which for all intents and purposes just happens to be 123 Chicago Street, Chicago, Illinois. And set a mile or kilometer radius around it. Default is 20 miles, but I'd like to start with 10. The closer my customers are to my location, the more likely they are to be interested. Look good? Let's add this. Great. If your campaign is still targeting the whole country, you can always remove those general targets by hitting the Remove button next to them. I'm not sure if targeting clicks nationwide would be profitable if you're in a restaurant business. So feel free to go back to the Search tab and hit Remove to any targets you may have in there. AdWords will also let us target the states, cities, zip codes, as well as exclude them. And I think that exclusions are usually a pretty good idea for any business, just to be sure that our ad dollars aren't going anywhere but the desired geographic location. I like to go as far as inserting a list of states that are outside of my target location to ensure that we don't pay for any clicks outside of the target area. You can search for locations in the search bars in the location tab and exclude them there, but you can also add and exclude a larger list of geographic targets if you go to the bulk targets tab. You can copy and paste lists of your location in here and exclude them one by one. I'll leave this one up to you. It's always a good idea to target nearby towns if you think its residents may be interested in your business. Some businesses go as far as stealing clicks from their competition by targeting competitor brand keywords in their locations. This is fairly common practice. Alright, after you've added your locations, hit done and save your location changes. Just like devices, you can set bid adjustments for locations and look at data about the clicks you get from the surrounding areas. Just go to the Locations tab and make the necessary adjustments that you see the clicks trickle in. We only have one location in here, so there's not much we could do at this point in time, but once you start adding more radiuses and start getting clicks, you'll see more and more data in here. Next, you can change the advanced location and language options if you like, but the default options are usually pretty applicable to most of my campaigns, so we'll skip this and bid strategy for now, as some of these are more advanced settings and they may be worth exploring in the future. Next up, down the line, are budgets. The daily budgets are certainly going to be of importance to you if you're working with a predetermined budget. The dollar amount that you assign in the settings or in the campaign tab is going to be Google's daily budget. However, it's a pretty strong however because Google may spend more or less than this budget depending on search traffic, your bids, and a few other variables. Google say they will only over or underspend by 20%. And I'd say this is fairly accurate. It's not often that Google will spend more than 20% of your daily budget, but it may still happen, so keep an eye on how much Google spends. A consistent 20% overspend of your daily budget can cause you to spend quite a bit more than you intended. In the end though, Google claimed that AdWords won't spend more than your daily budget times 30.4. This is the average number of days in a month. If you're spending less than you'd like, you may want to add more broad match keywords. You may want to increase your keyword bids or look into our next item, which is a delivery method. The delivery method has to do with how fast Google will attempt to spend your daily budget. If you would like your ads to run as soon as possible, as much as possible, first thing in the morning, then you should go with accelerated delivery. If you'd like to make sure that your ads show evenly throughout the day, however, standard delivery does a good job at this. This is a fairly safe option. But if your campaign is struggling to spend its daily budget, feel free to change the setting to accelerated. Very good. We're almost done with our settings. Next up is our ad schedule. This setting can be useful if your campaign has to end on a certain date, or if you'd like to show your ads at certain points in a day. Let's hit View Ad Schedule and explore the setting a little bit more. Let's say that our restaurant is only open in the afternoons. We can choose for our ads to show only after 12 o'clock, which is noon. Click on Ad Schedule, and then create custom schedule, and select 12 p.m. to 12 a.m., which is midnight. You can even set your hours based on the day of the week. Keep in mind that your time zone is based on your Gmail account that's associated with AdWords. Super. Let's go back to all settings and discuss our last key item, which is ad rotation. Ad rotation and delivery is an AdWords feature that will allow Google to automatically show some ads more than others or show them all evenly. This setting is based on the ad's click-through rate, also called the CTR. If you're always creating new ads to see which ones work best, or if you have new sales offers that you would like to advertise and rotate, I would recommend sticking with rotate indefinitely option. This will ensure that all of your ads get shown. Otherwise, you're relatively safe with optimized for clicks. The other two options aren't as reliable in terms of driving quality clicks in my experience, but feel free to test them out and let us know how it goes. Very good. We're making strides in getting to know AdWords, how things work, and how you can improve your campaign's performance. In fact, we're almost ready to launch our campaign. Our next lesson features site links, which are a great way to help your ads look better than your competition and may make a real difference on whether a potential client clicks on your ad or someone else's. Feel free to reach out to us using our Contact Us section. We'd love to hear your feedback. See you next time.